queen of the dance floor, night for your life.
Down he goes, you talking nonsense. I gotta go, man, this the energy. Me, I'm too slow, bring it out. I'm with the bros, make up the politics. Justin Trudeau,
Hello guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Elsie. In case this is your first time to my channel, my name is Elsie and I welcome you to my channel. I haven't uploaded anything, I'm thinking in about like probably 4 months now, and this video is a little bit going to explain why I haven't uploaded anything, and at the same time kind of what's been happening. This video is gonna be a testimony of what God has been doing in my life for the past 4 months. In the middle of March, which was like the end of the school year during exam seasons, I went through a pretty rough time because I went through a breakup, and it was hectic. It was pretty hectic. I felt lost. I felt alone in many ways, even though I did have like support. Like I had friends and family support, but at the same time I still felt in a way alone and isolated. I tried running away from my problems, and over the next months I realized that the way I tried to get away from the issues was not going to work. So I traveled with my aunt. Trying to get away from the problem in Canada, and it followed me there. When I came back to Canada, I called my aunt. I was like, I want to come to you. I want to travel to you. Like, I feel like I can't stay here in this city. Like, I need to be away from this. But going to another place would not solve anything. Like, it wouldn't have solved anything. It wouldn't have made anything better for me, because the issue would have still been dwelling inside of me. But thankfully, I started going to Campus Rush, which is a church in my school, Carleton University. I started going more regularly, even though I was trying. Like, I was like, my aunt, I'm gonna try to come to you because I feel like I can't be in this city. But at the same time, I don't know, God was calling me somewhere else, and I started going to the services more often, and I got caught up with everything that was happening in church. I stayed in line with what was happening, and I made myself busy in a way with what was happening in church instead of dwelling with what I was feeling emotionally. And at the same time, the counsels I was looking from friends and family that I couldn't receive, I received it through basically every word that was being spoken in church by Pastor Kofi. It was as if every week God had something to say to me, to speak to my situation specifically, and I could feel that I needed to be there. I needed to be there to get the next word, to get through the next day, because at that time I was like financially, like struggling financially, struggling with emotional issues, or everything that was happening, not just with the breakup, but like I had also issues with my family because of the breakup. So it was just so overwhelming. But I found my comfort in church, and everything that I was trying to find while like running away to another country, I could find it right in the same place, just in a different source. The first experience that I had where I was like, I'm not alone, like I didn't feel the sense of loneliness and isolation that I felt. It kind of started to disappear during YOF. One of the pastors, I can't remember who, but was preaching, and while I was praying, I just heard a voice saying, I'm with you during YOF, I'm with you. And I found comfort in like just that voice. But what was even greater is following a YOF, I had a dream, and I was surrounded by so many people in the dream, and then suddenly there was like no, I don't want to say flood, because it wasn't like something was flooding, but like a big thing of water like was opening and it was coming down. Basically people were running for their lives, but it wasn't like flooding, like overwhelming flooding. I don't really know how to explain it, but all of a sudden everyone like kind of left me, and I didn't know where to go, and there was one man that stayed beside me and repeated what I heard during YOF, saying, I'm with you. And when I woke up from that dream, I knew for certain that I wasn't alone and that God was always watching me. But during Dunamis 18 was another, like a whole transformation for my life. I experienced so much and I received so much from God, and I am grateful for God for being so faithful to me, despite everything that I know that I've done wrong in God's eyes. And God was just there to catch me. Like he was just there to catch me, and I can try to explain some to you guys, and I can try to give my testimony, but only at the end of the day, only I know how that transformation felt for me. The second day of Dunamis, I wrote all the dates. I'm crazy, like note taker, so if I'm looking down here sometimes it's because I'm looking at my notes. The 18th of August, Saturday morning, I went to the morning service. I didn't plan on going to the evening because I was working, but everything that was just happening in the service, the blessings, the presence of God that I felt, in the miracles that I witnessed with my own eyes God was doing in other people's lives, I just felt a need. I felt a need to come back later, to be there in the afternoon, and I knew that the afternoon service was gonna be longer, so the more hours, the more blessings. So I just felt that I needed to be there. So by chance, I was like, it was like 12, and I had work at 3. It was 12, and by chance I was like, I'm gonna message someone at work and see if she's able to take over my shift. And it's difficult to get someone to cover your shift, like 3 hours, like literally 2.5 hours before you start your shift. But I felt that, I was like, something just told me, just try to do it. And right away I messaged her, my coworker. She replied to me, yes, I can do it. And I was like, what? Thank God. Like no one answers that quick and say yes 2 hours or 3 hours before someone else's shift start. And I mean, I just know that because previously I've tried getting others to take my shifts, and usually it's like, oh, I have something to do, which is very understanding. But God was working around in all of it to make sure that I was there that evening. And that Thursday, the evening before I went to service, which was gonna happen at 6. Before I went to service, I had something was telling me take a picture of my mom, which she lives in Haiti. Take a picture of her to the service with me. So I grabbed the picture. And I took it with me, and during service, during prophetic ministration, I was praying, and I just felt like very strongly that I needed to pray for my mom. My mom is a sick person. She's been sick for, I can basically say, my entire life, but I felt a need to pray for her, specifically because she has like some hearing issues. So for me, that was the target. I was like, God, I'm praying for my mom's hearing issues that she's been having, and she's been suffering for too long, and I felt an extra urge. Like, usually I pray for my mom, but I felt an extra urge that day to do so. And I took the picture with me, and I had the picture, and I was praying for my mom. And then that night I received a prophetic word from my mom. And it turns out if I didn't make it to that later service, I don't know what would have happened. Like, I would have gotten the news, a call that like my mom was gone, that I would not be able to see my mom again because she had passed away, because I received that night a word that my mom's life was going to be taken away the next day. So me being there and me having the urge to cancel my work schedule and go to service instead was not an accident. God was doing all of it so that he could save his daughter's life. I'm glad that I was there during Dunamis. I was there as a contact point to save my mom's, like, not me saving my mom's life, but my presence there served as a tool for God to do his work. And I connected actually the word I received, and I didn't realize that a dream that I had like 1 week, I believe, before Dunamis started. I had a dream that my life was going to be sacrificed, and I was talking to my dad on the phone about it. In the dream, I was but there was nothing my dad could do. But it seemed like something that was necessary for me to do in the dream, that my life had to be sacrificed for another purpose, for another like better purpose somehow. And as I was going basically on a kind of like a hospital bed where, I don't know, I would be taken apart, like the sacrifice was going to happen, someone came, as it was about to happen, someone came and said, oh, we can't go on with the procedure because the coffin broke. That's what like I saw in my dream. That's what happened in my dream. And I was like, and when I woke up, I was like, the coffin broke. I was like, a life is saved. I don't know who. I was like, thank God. I don't know who the dream is connected to. But little did I know, now that I received that word, I connected it to my mom's, that coffin that was broken. It was my mom's coffin that God had already planned on breaking, but I had to also be at Dunamis for it to happen. Man, I'm so like, I don't know how to express, when I'm talking about God, I don't know how to express my gratitude properly. My mom's life was saved during Dunamis 18, and I will forever be grateful. And I thank God for placing TLC in Ottawa and for orchestrating all of these events just so that could have happened.